Hello and welcome to Jimmy's World, where I'm probably gonna go bankrupt doing this. Well, not gonna need this anymore. Boy, when I bought this airplane about a year ago now with the Aztec and the Bonanza from that old guy Jack up in Pennsylvania, I always knew it was gonna be pretty tough, the old 310. And at the time, my YouTube channel, this thing, it was not full-time, it wasn't anything, and I didn't really think anything of it, to be honest with you. Bought these airplanes and I bought them all for parts value. I paid $30,000 for all three airplanes, the 310, the Aztec, and a Bonanza. Bonanza was just completely junk. There was no saving that thing. The Aztec was the one to save. That was the one that it flew in there just a few years ago because of paperwork. That was the only reason we didn't fly that thing out. And knowing what I know now, boy, I would have just let that thing sit there until we can get the inspections done. Or I would have found a helicopter and picked that thing up and set it down. The 310, beautiful airplane, had potential. I was surprised. After 38 years, we just hooked a battery to it, put some fuel in it, and two blades. This thing started right up first try. I was shocked. Well, then I called the shipper, take them apart. That's where we really messed up, is taking them apart. It just opened up massive can of worms. Created probably 500 hours of extra work that we would not have had to have done. Brought them down here, evaluated them with Dr. Phil. He gave the old 310 a red card. That was not surprising to myself or you or anybody else. But then I'm like, well, let's just flip a coin, right? What could possibly go wrong? And that stinking Canadian quarter landed on heads. Should have used an American quarter. Then I put it back out to the YouTube universe and said, hey, if you guys want to see this thing being saved, by golly, you're gonna have to pitch in a few bucks yourself. And you did. I was also not expecting that. To date, over 600 people have donated money, and $24,000 has been donated to save the 310. Well, now kind of locked into this deal, right? So I took other people's money, so now I got to perform. I'm not gonna just take money and say thanks and then go on my merry way. And the vision with this airplane was to get it flying again and maybe help some people get their license, get multi-engine training, and especially the veterans. Get to places, appointments, do morale flights to help them get their training and civilian license when they get out of the military to transfer over to civilian aviation. That was the plan. Oh, when I look at the money, I just kind of laugh because I don't want to cry. Even though $24,000 was donated, I spent all that plus another $85,000 on Save the 310. So this airplane, which you could just go out and buy flying right now in decent condition, 50 grand all day. Well, in Jimmy's World fashion, we're into this thing for over $104,000 is my last estimate. That's just crazy. This is where I also learned a valuable lesson. To do this right, it would take north of $200,000 and about 2 years. Because to do it right, this airplane, because of the history and all the mice and all the other junk, it needed to be stripped all the way down and built all the way back up, a full restoration. The hardware was all destroyed, rusted, corroded. The wiring was just all destroyed. I mean, everything. Those engines needed to be gone through again. And just those engines by themselves, you're looking at minimum of 40 grand a piece. That's $80,000 just on the engines, minimum. And I knew that going into it, but yet somehow I thought, this time will be different, Jimmy. Those engines will be just fine. Just run them a little bit. Some of the gaskets might need to be replaced because they've dried out over the last 40 years. I was spending 2 days a week at least coming up here, and for me it's an hour-and-a-half drive each way. And doing the math and just the price of fuel and everything else, it cost me about $1,000 a week just to come up and back, and that's paying the guys to be up here as well. And I just spent a crazy amount of money on gas. All right, we're gonna stop at the gas station on our way up there, grab some snacks, some gas. First thing you gotta do, fire up the old Upside app, because you get money off, you save money, all that kind of fun stuff. Look, I've got 13 bucks of cash back. Now, we're gonna look for a gas station. Bam! Circle K up at the interstate, which is where we gotta go. Okay, that's where we're headed. Using the Upside app, it is the easiest thing in the world. So we're here, all we do is claim offer and check in, use that card that we've already got on file, and that's it. Now you go fill up, go get your stuff, and then what it does is they've partnered with the gas station so that they look at how much you spent with that card and they give you that percentage back. So like here we got an extra 16% cash back on Circle K store items, which we're gonna go in and take full advantage of. Download the app, use the code JimmysWorld for your $5 or more off your first $10 purchase. Boom, that's awesome. You pay full price now, they give you a rebate, and then you get some cash in here that you can use for other stuff down the road. Then to keep this whole thing going, I had to sell out to sponsors. You do what you gotta do, I guess. As we put this 310 together with the mission of helping veterans, giving them morale flights and helping them get to where they need to go, also doing some training, because you know when these guys get out of the military, their flight experience doesn't transfer over into the civilian world, so they have to get all these certifications. In order to fly the big planes, they got to have multi-engine time. That's what we were going to use this airplane for. That was the whole mission. And I mean, if it wasn't for this 310 and that whole crazy hashtag save the 310 phenomenon, there would be no Jimmy's World. And because of this airplane, we've been able to go have some other fun adventures with other airplanes, flying them across the country, little ones, that Lance Air, that speed rocket, the MiG-15. I mean, that's a fan favorite. That's still kind of crazy that that thing is there. T6, which we haven't finished yet or even been able to make it back up there yet. The Blue Tarp Special. We've had lots and lots of great things because of that airplane. So, I mean, we even named our website SaveThe310.com, where you can get all the merchandise and all that other great stuff. And I mean, geez, you know what's gonna happen with all this stuff, because this is it. I never knew how long Jimmy's World would last. You never know with these things. Through this whole process, I feel like I've failed. And that hurts. That's that. Welcome to the new home of Mighty Mouse here at Sun and Fun in Lakeland, Florida. Not only are we going to be able to serve veterans with the silver bullet, but now hundreds of thousands of people will get to see and experience Mighty Mouse. And specifically, Mighty Mouse is going to be going to the school that's here for the high schoolers and those people training to get their mechanic's license. We get to serve thousands and thousands of people with Mighty Mouse now. Save the 310 goes on in a bigger way than I ever hoped or imagined. This is fantastic! The great thing about the 310 coming here is it gets to serve hundreds of thousands of the next generation of aviation technicians. And not only that, when you come to Sun and Fun, those several 100,000 people will get a chance to see it for their own self. Lakeland, Florida, the new home of Mighty Mouse, and all things are new. We got a new website, savethe310.com. We've got Wings of Compassion. That website's gonna be getting launched any second now, so we can start serving veterans through aviation. We are a whole new Jimmy's World. Come on, let's do it.